out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up. To my brothers out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up.
I woke up one day and I'm feeling truly blessed. With this life I got to live, but my hand on my chest, praying for the best, living in the moment, that's the truth. While I'm telling you, get it too, you know, that's how we do it. To my brothers and my cousins and the struggle, listen, put the waves for the future and the body distance. Keep the faith, make a change, reach for the star, putting it up, holding down while I spit these bars.
In this time or another, when we need each other, I look around, all I see is a brother from another mother. So don't stress, put me to the test. I'm SD, RTL, best of the best. This is to my day one, brother Jake, hey, you were with me from the start, showing me the way, forever grateful for your love and care in my life. Time for me to keep going, let's feel the hype.
To my brothers out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up.
My brother,
To my brothers out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up. That's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother. I hope this message healed the damage that was inflicted on you. So I'm taking it from you, cause I'd rather see my brothers loving and loving instead of suffering and struggling. Just hope one day my brothers can find a lot. Nothing better than seeing them succeed and living a better life. So they better believe I'ma be standing by their side, I'ma be their God that they never had, that they never had.
we see coming at ya, looking at for my brothers. Respect for each other, respecting your mothers. We do the right thing, representing the youth. It ain't about lying, it's all about truth. Look after your mom, be an inspiration. Keep the torch burning for the first people of nation. Look up to your elders, listen to their lessons. Hear us when we tell ya, we ain't even messing.
To my brothers out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up.
My brother,
To my brothers out there that's struggling, hustling, keep your head up, cause we do care. I know you're fed up, just keep your head up, just keep your head up. That's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother, that's my brother.
Try and stay positive, that's all I ever hear. I'm real sick and tired, being stuck in first gear, never knowing what tomorrow might bring. Thank God for my brothers, for a song to sing. It's a song of hope, the future might hold a brighter day for us, the young and the old. Looking up to the sky, the sun and the moon. I feel it in my bones, a change is coming soon.
Never easy leaving family all the way from home. Thankful for my brothers never leaving me alone. I'm from BLA, so far away. I got my boys, got my brothers, I'm here to stay. Representing BLA, all I got to say. So I pray to God it's gonna be a better day. God's gift to me is being who I want to be. To my family at Bush, let's keep the peace.
Jay Hogan is back again to tell my brothers out there to stand up. Don't be silent to keep your life. I know it's hard to keep clean, but that ain't an excuse to do the stupid things you do to relax your mind. But then do the time, I'm just saying, forget that. Keep your head up, shoot for the moon, aim for the stars. Don't be scared, cause I'm here, my brother, to stand next to you and the rest of the crew to stop the struggling, stop the struggling.
coming all the way from YC with the gang. Me and all my brothers feel so much pain. See my people fighting, oh there must be a change. Protect their own, or we'll never be the same.
Listen up what we say, we all stick together. Through thick and thin we stick, we never say never.
If you're feeling down, you know where to go. You go to the place where people call you bro. Riding at the store when the time is tough. My brothers make it better when enough. You know who you can trust, it's clear to see.
Good morning.
Getting closer every day.
Welcome back to Yirara.
Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to math lesson number 4 for our middle school, year 7 to 9. My name is Mr. Liko.
I'm Mr. Keegan.
And let's have a look at what's on our lineup for today. So, what are we learning today in maths? We are learning to recap on our workbook tasks from yesterday's lesson, and we're going to do that by introducing a new task with our counting skills, which then leads us on to number 2, using our counting skills to solve larger number problems. And we've looked at times tables a lot lately, and we're going to see if we can kind of extend our learning with that. Then we're going to introduce again, or reintroduce, the column method way, which is one awesome math strategy that we can use to solve number problems, especially when it comes to 3-digit number problems. And we're going to really hammer this today and see how much you can remember in terms of increasing your addition skills by using the column method strategy. Okay, so let's head down here to our work desk. Now, as you can see on page number 20 of your workbooks will be our next task for today. Now, very similar to our previous tasks, we're going to do lots of skip counting to help us with our times tables, and then we're going to use a number chart, which is another way that may help us with times tables that we may not know or not very good at. Okay, so as you can see, the 5 times tables and the 3 times tables, they've already started for you. So our 5s one should be pretty straightforward. It shouldn't have been, Mr. Keegan?
Should be, yeah.
All right, so let's see if we can complete that 5s column. Again, we're counting up in 5s. We've done the first 3 for you. What's next up, Mr. Keegan?
Well, if we're counting by 5, skip counting, 5, 10, 15 should be 20.
Cool. Yep, and that should take you all the way up to 10. And if you obviously match 5 times 1 equals 5, 5 times 2 equals 10, and so forth, by counting up in 5s, then you should be quite confident in your 5 times tables. Again, with your 3 times tables, simply counting up in 3s. So, Mr. Keegan, can you demonstrate how we can do that?
We have 3, 6, 9. Next one should be 12.
Cool. And then just keep adding 3 on from there. Should allow you to complete those 3s. 1s, we probably don't need to go over. Pretty straightforward. Our 10s, so same thing, 10 times 1. Obviously, if we're timesing this, any number by 1, it pretty much remains the same because there's only one group of that number. And if we count up in 10s, how can we do that, Mr. Keegan?
Just go 10. We know that 10 times 2 will be 20, then 30, and so on.
Cool. And another number pattern, just to remind you, we know that in our 10 times tables, there's always a 0 in it, and then you just count up by 1s, which will give you the answers for those. 2s, very straightforward. We're counting up in 2s. So let's have a look and see if we can do that.
We can go across quick. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We can see that 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8. Perfect.
And I'm sure you are all very, very good at counting up in your 2s and those other numbers that we've just looked at just now. Okay, so now we're going to get into some other numbers that we probably haven't focused on too much. Now, let's have a look at our next number, which is our 7 times tables. Now, we know 7 times 1, that's pretty straightforward. Now, if we were to move on using maybe our number chart, right, let's have a look and see how we can figure out maybe the next few steps of our 7 times tables. So if we start at 7 on our number chart, we know that by adding another 7, right, we can get the next answer to 7 times 2. And what would that be, Mr. Keegan?
So we'll count by 7, by 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the next one is 14.
Cool. Meaning that 7 times 2 is 14. If we add on another 7.
7.
Cool. Gives you 7 times 3 equals 21. And we'll do one more.
And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Cool. And giving you 7 times 4 is 28. So again, if we struggle with our 7 times tables, and I know we haven't looked at 7 times tables quite a lot, a number chart is a perfect way for you to help you with your 7 times tables, knowing that we can count up by 7 each time. And that should give you the answer right up to 7 times 10. So have a go at doing that, and hopefully you can gain your confidence in doing so. Let's have a look at our 6 times tables. Now we'll skip the 4 for now, But let's have a look at our 6 times tables, and this time we're going to use a practical way, or use our small blocks. Now, pretty much the same as 7, we're now going to count up in 6s, and Mr. Keegan is going to use some blocks to help us with our 6 times tables.
Another way to remember out there is all footy goals are 6 points as well, so we all know that. So 6 times 1, we all know that should be 6, and we'll have our group of 6 there. 6 times 2, we can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Another group of 6. 2, 4, 6 added to the 12, so 12, 14, 16, 18.
Nice.
And then from 18 we have 20, 22, 24. And then from 24 we have another 6, so 24, 26, 28, 30.
Cool, nice. So Mr. Keegan has gone ahead and used those cubes and given you the first 5 answers to our 6 times tables. And again, Mr. Keegan also showed a really good way where we don't always have to start back at 1. So for example, if 6 times 2 is 12, you simply just count on from there. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18. Once you get to 6, that should give you the next answer. That way you're not always having to start back at 1 and you're counting, quite a lot, quite big numbers. So using blocks, and again, you don't just have to use blocks, it's just another way that we can improve our times tables. Now, the next number is a pretty big number as well. Let's have a look at our 8 times tables. And we're going to turn our number chart on the other side where there's a clean number chart with no markings on it. And now we're going to have a look at our 8 times tables. Now, 8, when counting up an 8 or repeated addition or using our number chart, it can be quite tricky. So let's show you one easy way that we can improve our 8 times tables using the number chart.
So we know that 1 times 8, we'll start at 8.
Cool.
And then we'll go again. We'll count by 2s to get there. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Next one, 2 times 8 equals 16. And again, 2, 4, 6, 8. 3 times 8 equals 24. And we'll do one more. 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times 8 equals 32.
Perfect. Yeah. So as you saw there, Mr. Keegan is simply counting up in 8s, and whatever number you land on the number chart should be the correct answer to your times tables. So knowing that, especially another number pattern that you can see is that every number actually ends in an even number. So it can be 2, 4, 6 or 8s. If it lands on an odd number, then you might want to check your counting again, go back and recount your steps. So hopefully you have a really good go and attempt at completing your 8 times tables. We'll check in tomorrow to see what your answers are. We'll have a fully completed sheet for you, and we'll see what strategies that you were able to use to improve your times tables. Cool. All right, so let's move on to our next task for today. So page number 21, I believe,
Yep.
is where we will check out the column method. So I'll just bring this down here. So we have focused a lot on our column method strategy to help us with our especially much larger numbers when it comes to addition. Now, in this particular task, we don't need to carry a number or exchange any numbers. It's pretty straightforward. So we know that when we come having a look at question number 1 on page number 21, we know that we would always start in the ones column and make our way up to the tens and the hundreds column. So having a look at that problem on number 1, we have 423 plus 206. Now, if I was to give you that problem, I'd probably be quite scared of that, quite a big number. But when we break it down using the column method, let's have a look at what Mr. Keegan can show us.
So we would get scared, so we'll make it simpler for us. So 6 plus 3, because we're starting in the ones column. 6 plus 3, we know that's 9. 0 plus 2, that's an easy one. That's still 2, or 20. And then 2 plus 4, or 200 plus 400 equals 600.
Cool. So that gives you the total answer of 629. So you don't need to be afraid as such, especially when you've got the column method right in front of you to help you with your 3-digit addition. let's have a look at numbers 2 and number 3. So again, we start on the right hand side. What have we got there, Mr. Keegan?
Starting in the ones, we got 3 plus 2 equals 5. 2 plus 7, that equals 9. And then 3 plus 2 again equals 5. So that equals 595.
Perfect. And number 3?
Final one, we got 6 plus 2 equals 8. 3 plus 1, 4. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So 548.
Cool. So as you can see, it's really, really simple. When we break it down into 2-digit or 1-digit addition, you're actually very, very good at it. You become very good, and you actually can have a lot of fun using the column method way. And you'll find that you're able to add much bigger numbers than you thought simply by using the column method strategy. So have a go at completing the rest of that task sheet on page number 21. Also have a go at completing page number 20, and we'll revisit your answers tomorrow. So remember that, the column method, and hopefully that can help you improve your addition. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Keegan.
No worries.
All right, so let's wrap it up for today. What did we achieve today? We are able to use number frames to solve number problems, and we've done that in yesterday's task. We're also able to use our skip counting and times table skills to solve larger number problems. And we've done that using the number chart and also the small blocks. And then number 3, we are able to understand the column method way to solve 3-digit number problems. And we saw the 3-digit number problems on page number 21 of your workbooks. And hopefully once you've got confidence with your column method, maths actually becomes really, really fun, especially when solving those big numbers. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Keegan, for your help. We'll wrap it up for today. We hope to see you. Tune in for tomorrow, our very last lesson of the week. You're almost there. So yeah, stay safe. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye. Good afternoon again, and welcome to our second part of our middle school learning. We're now going to put maths aside and we're going to jump into our integrated learning. Again, my name is Mr. Liko.
I'm Mr. Keegan.
Cool, and let's have a look at what we're learning about today. So on your first slide, you can see we're going to revisit our natural features of Australia. Now there's a reason why we're going to look at that, because on pages number 11 and 12, which is where we're up to in your integrated learning workbooks, we're going to have a look at the Aboriginal sacred sites of Australia. So we are learning to understand why sacred places are important to Aboriginal people, and we're going to use our mapping skills to locate different Aboriginal sites around Australia. And that's a really, really fun task. So let's have a look at, first of all, before we jump into the task, what sacred means or what sacred places are. So the word sacred means a thing or a place that is connected to God or other beliefs. Now we know that at the end of this lesson, we've actually got our very own Aboriginal staff who are going to explain what sacred places means to them. Now these sacred places that we know of in Aboriginal culture typically have a story or a dreamtime tale or some sort of belief behind the significance of that place, which makes it very, very sacred. So having a look at that next slide, a sacred place is very important in Aboriginal culture. Why? Well, first of all, it means something very special to Aboriginal people, and you're going to find that in the video at the end of our lesson today. Second of all, it tells a story or a dreaming, and I know you have lots of dreamings and stories that you can share or sometimes you can't, but it actually makes certain places in Australia very, very special or sacred. It is a place to show respect to traditional owners, past, present and future, and most sacred places hold that really high respect, and it's an awesome way to care for country. So we know that sacred places, we can't, lots of stories that we know, you can't actually build over it, you can't build around it, and it's all part of the efforts to care for country. So let's bring it down to our work desk over here in terms of what sacred sites has to do with our task for today. So the task at the top of page 11, let's see what it asks us to do. Using Google Maps, or you can use your own knowledge or previous episodes of the Map of Australia, you are to write the Aboriginal sacred sites listed in the table below into the correct place on the blank map of Australia, which is on the very next page, or page 12. So the first one has been done for you. So what's that first place that we've done on page number 12, Mr. Keegan?
We have Kakadu National Park up in the top end, Northern Territory.
And we've given you the state or the territory where it's based. Your task now is to simply mark whereabouts that place is, and write down the correct name or the title of that natural landmark or the Aboriginal sacred site. So let's do a few together. So this next one is pretty familiar to us, you reckon, Mr. Keegan?
Yes, sir.
Yep, so what is our next one?
We have Uluru, or Ayers Rock, in the Northern Territory, which is just down here.
Cool, nice. So Mr. Keegan has marked with a dot whereabouts Uluru is. Then he's going to simply draw an arrow and mark out the correct place. Now this is a great way to improve your mapping skills, especially where we can locate such important sites that might be very important to your, obviously very important to your culture, but might be important to your own family and relatives back home. Let's have a look at the next one.
We have the Pinnacles in Western Australia. That is just here.
Cool. So we know that that's another Aboriginal sacred site in a much different state, right, to the west of Australia, in Western Australia. And we know we're going to write that. And if you don't know how to spell it, simply have a look on page number 11 for the correct spelling. Let's do one more together.
We have Yirara Flinders Ranges in South Australia, which is just over here.
Perfect. All right. So again, Mr. Keegan is marking exactly where in South Australia the Flinders Ranges is. It will be cool if you can mark the state or the territory, but it will be even better if you could jump on your phones, jump on Google and see exactly where on the map of Australia these places are. And it gives us a really good idea of how much you know about these sacred sites, but just how good your mapping skills really are. So we'll let you complete the rest of that table on your own. We'll show a completed map of those sites tomorrow, but let's have a look at these next set of questions. Now, having a look at those 12 sites or 12 natural landmarks, how many of these sacred sites have you seen before? I'm going to ask Mr. Keegan the same question. So out of those 12 sites, how many have you seen before?
Ones that I've seen in person are all the ones in Northern Territory. So Kings Canyon, Katajuda, we've got Uluru and Kakadu National Park.
Cool. So you simply just put 4. Right? So remember the key word is seen, all right? And it might be seen in person, right? Which would be even better. And you just simply put a number there. Now the next one is, you might not have seen these sites, but how many of these sacred sites have you heard of before, Mr. Keegan?
So including the 4 that I've seen, then I've heard of the Pinnacles, the Flinders Ranges, the Blue Mountains, and that's it, I think.
Cool. So I think I counted 7.
7.
Yeah. Perfect. So there might be some other places that you've never seen or you've never heard before, or there might be. So it's a really good insight into what you've actually seen or heard right here in Australia. Now, questions number 3 and 4 are really personal questions to you, and we would love for you to answer them. So let's have a read of those together. Which Aboriginal sacred site would you like to visit one day, and explain why? Now, it can be one from the table above, or it can be one that you can think of yourself. So we've given you a sentence starter. One day I would like to visit that particular site that you think of because, and you just give us a simple reason why you'd want to visit that sacred place. Number 4, complete the following sentence about your favorite place to visit. my favorite place to visit in Australia is, now this place doesn't have to be a sacred site, but it would be awesome for us to know what your favorite place to visit is and why. And there's probably lots of reasons behind some of those places. It might be the nature, it might be a memory that you've gone there with your family or your friends, or it might simply just be a really, really fun place to go to. So we'd love to hear your answers, we'd love to hear your stories, and hopefully you can put that into page 11. But first things first, see if you can increase your mapping skills on page number 12, and then move on to those questions. Okay, so I'll wrap it up today, but before we jump into our video, so by completing those tasks, what are we able to achieve? So we're able to now understand what sacred means, which is a term or a word that we introduced a few weeks ago. We're also able to understand why sacred places are very important to Aboriginal people, and you're about to see Mr. Keegan himself. He's going to feature in that video about why sacred places are important to Mr. Keegan. And we're able to complete our mapping task on page number 12, finding sacred sites around Australia that are very important to Aboriginal people. So this next up video, again, it might be one you've seen before, it might not be one that you haven't seen, might be one that you haven't seen before, but hopefully it gives you a really good idea of why Aboriginal sacred sites are so important in Aboriginal culture. So enjoy the video. Thank you, Mr. Keegan, for your help.
No worries.
All right, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. In integrated learning so far, we've looked at Aboriginal sacred sites. Well, right here at Yirara College, we have some of our very own Aboriginal staff who's going to share with us some stories and why Aboriginal sacred sites are very important to Aboriginal culture. Let's see what they have to say.
What's your name and where do you come from?
Yamba. My name is Lee Merritt. I'm a Wodja man from Condobolin, New South Wales.
My name is Miss Sophie and I'm a Western Aranda woman born and bred in Alice Springs.
My name is Mawisha McCormack. I'm from Alice Springs, Aranda woman and Pitinjara woman.
Dagan, I'm from T3, Ingamajara.
Paya, my name's Keegan. I'm a Literature man from Brisbane.
Hi, my name is Kamisha. I'm a Arabana and Adyamatna woman on my mum's side from South Australia. I'm Waka Waka on my dad's side from Brisbane.
And I'm Daniel Myers. My mum's a Yoda Aranda woman from Alice Springs and Planning Highway.
My name is Shane. I'm a Warramunga man from Tanning Creek.
Hi, I'm Steve Silva. I'm a Bunungo man from Nooka, Top End. And I speak Creole.
Why are Aboriginal sacred sites important to you?
Sacred sites are important to me and many other Aboriginal people because they are the places that hold the songs, the dances, the objects and stories of creation, and they also connect certain Aboriginal people to different places that are rightfully theirs.
It's all about where I'm from, it's about my culture, it's about understanding a way of life. It is everything to me and to all other Indigenous people. It brings community, families, and it makes everyone a whole. And that's, to me, is about uniting everyone together. And this is actually a big thing for all of us. So it unites all of us, and it's something that's true to our hearts and very, very important to us as Aboriginal people.
Sacred sites are important to Aboriginal people and to women's law and men's law that are a part of Dreamtime, creation, stories, and etc.
Tell stories about our ancestors and the law between every culture, and it shows where you come from, what skin name, what language group, what land group you are, and shows everything that your skin name, all that stuff. And it's important to every Aboriginal people in this land.
A sacred site means a place that shouldn't be touched or destroyed. It's a place for remembrance. A sacred site is one similar to the rock art out at Emily Gap. Sacred sites are important to me because it means something to us and to our culture, which is why we don't want it damaged or destroyed. They also hold stories and are very important to Aboriginal law.
Aboriginal sacred sites have special meanings and connections. They usually have a story wherever they're based. This is something that my people have proudly owned since our ancestors have been around. So it's something we keep close to our heritage. It's very important to us. There's many sacred sites in Australia with many different stories. In Central Australia, there's a few. Dan, do you know any sites around Alice?
Yeah, so I know there's a lot around Alice. There's the McDonald Ranges. There's a lot on the McDonald Ranges. Actually, you got Jessie Gap, Emily Gap, Trafina Gorge, all out Ross River Way. You know, the Tree of Knowledge at Tracker Park. You know, it's a big one for a lot of locals as well. There's the one across the road from the hospital. I forgot what it's called, but I know there's one there. But there's a lot. Yeah, I know a fair bit of them.
Sacred sites to me is very important because it defines who we are. It keeps the stories going for generations coming through, and it also protects that certain environment from people entering and stuff like that. So that's why it's important to me.
Aboriginal sacred sites is important because it has knowledge, culture and spirit.
I know a few sacred sites in Alice Springs. I know mainly that Aluka is one of them, which is a health clinic run through Congress. I know that women are only allowed there and it's women's dreaming. And if you are a male, you are only allowed out till you're 4 years old. Other than that, after that, you're no longer allowed on site. That's probably mainly one of the main ones I know. What about you?
I reckon the one I know a bit about is the Tree of Knowledge at Tracker Park. Like, I know it's a sacred tree because when they was going to build a grandstand, that they couldn't cut the tree down, they had to build around it. And I know that's been there for years, since the footy has been built there. So that's a very old tree and one you can't touch at all because it means a lot to, I guess, the community, the footy community, the locals, and it has a big part of our history. So that's probably the main one, I reckon.
Yeah, same.
We're going to take a tour of the Aboriginal sacred sites right here on Aranda land. Right here in Alice Springs, we have some beautiful scenery, some plants, and also some bush tucker that Mr. Dan is going to help me explain, and also hear the stories of our Aboriginal people right here in Alice Springs. Should we go check it out? Let's go. Hey everyone, so as you can see, we're here at the beautiful Emily Gap. This is where Mr. Dan is from, his country and his land. And Dan has got a few cool facts about this place, which is really significant to this sacred site right here in Alice Springs. What are some cool facts about this place, Dan?
Yeah. So a very good fact about this place is this is the men's dreaming. So this is our dreaming, the men's dreaming of Emily Gap. Fun fact here, you can't take photos of any art gallery, any artwork inside the gap, only just the outside. And it just feels good to just connect with the country, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So when we come here next, hopefully you can see the significance of this place, but enjoy also the beautiful native plants that we can see. And just behind us here, there's a bit of water here, which is not normal. So it's great to see some water here, and a really nice place to visit. But again, it is a sacred site to our Aboriginal people right here in Alice Springs, and especially to the Aranda people. Let's go check out our next site. Here at our next site, we're here at the lovely Jessie's Gap. Again, another beautiful sacred site to our Aranda people right here in Alice Springs. Mr. Dan, can you give us some information about what's behind us right here?
Yeah, so Jessie Gap, this is the opposite of Emily. This is a woman's dreaming, of course. So all the women are here. This is their dreaming. So it's the opposite of Emily Gap, but it's the woman's dreaming, this one. So yeah, so we got the men's dreaming line and the woman's dreaming line along the side. So yeah.
Yeah, so another beautiful sacred site. Again, hopefully we can come and have a look at this place and just enjoy the scenery behind us. Some beautiful trees, as you can see us, some water behind us as well. So really fascinating to see. Let's go and check out another site. All right, right behind me we have the Corroboree Rock. This is an Aboriginal sacred site, sacred to the Eastern Aranda people. The great thing about this site is the bush tucker here, such as wild passion fruit, wild orange. We've also got parenti and the witchery grub. If it weren't for this bush tucker, this land or this sacred site would not be here today. So it's great to see that this bush tucker really adds to the survival of this beautiful site, Corroboree Rock, right here in Aranda land. All right, there you have it, everyone. We've just checked out the beautiful Aboriginal sacred sites right here in Alice Springs. We hope you now have a better understanding of the importance and the true meaning behind these amazing sacred sites we see before us. The stories, the traditions, and also the culture that is important in these sacred sites is very, very valuable. Thank you to Mr. Max and Mr. Daniel for their help. It's been awesome, and I hope that when you come back to Alice Springs, you get to check out these sacred sites yourself. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Yirara to You Science, Mr. Kieran again, year 7-8. Today we're going to be looking at resources. We've been looking at this for the last couple of weeks, but today in particular we're going to be focusing on natural and human-made resources. Now, human-made are things that are created by humans, which is us, so they're not natural, whereas natural resources come from the earth, so they're resources that are naturally available. First of all, let's look at this week's worksheet. I've got it in front of us. Natural or human-made material. It has a variety of materials. We'll start with wool. Is that natural? Yes, wool is natural, so wool goes in the natural column. Now, what about wood? Something that comes from trees, therefore wood is a natural resource because it's grown naturally. What about stone? Where do you find stone? What can we use stone for? We can use it to build buildings. We can use it for our bench top. A nice, maybe a feature wall in the garden, you'd use stone. What about concrete? Well, concrete we use in buildings to build with. It's not really a natural material, it's man-made. It's made out of lime and other materials which are natural, but people have to actually create it by mixing things together. So that would go a human-made thing. What about feathers? Are they natural? Where do feathers come from? Feathers can be found on emus, birds, pigeons, and they're a natural resource, and we actually can use them to put inside of our pillows to make them nice and soft. So they're a natural material that's used in blankets, pillows, and what about paper? Paper is made by humans, so it's not natural. Silk is a human-made resource because even though we get the fibre from the silkworm naturally, we have to actually make it, so it's a human-made resource. Let's look at sand now. Sand is natural because that is found on the beaches, it's found in the soil, so we don't have to make it. How about paint? Do we make paint? We make the paint from the ochre. So we get the ochre and we have to crush it. So we've got to do something in order to make it into paint, so therefore it is human-made. How about glass? Do we find glass naturally? Well, glass is a modern invention made by humans. It's made out of sand. So glass we use in our windows. It's easy to break. And plastic we talked about first thing. Plastic is a new invention. We're currently living in what we call the plastic era. So much plastic's used, it's everywhere. So now we're going to watch a video. This video is called Cotton Cows. So it's a behind the news video, and we're going to check it out and see where cotton comes from, as well as some other natural resources. So let's check it out and we'll talk about it later.
We're here with Damien, and he's answered every question right so far. There's only one to go. So, for $1 million, Damien, where do cotton socks come from? Is it A, animals, B, plants, C, science lab, or D, outer space?
I'll have to ask the audience.
Pretty obvious question, right? Cotton is a plant. It's farmed all over Australia and is a pretty important industry. But according to a recent report, 3/4 of Year 6 kids thought cotton came from animals.
Lock in A, animals.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, lock in A.
Oh, Damien! Sorry, that's incorrect.
It wasn't just cotton they got wrong. There were others too. They thought yogurt came from plants, and just under half of Year 6 students didn't know that bread, cheese and bananas came from farms. Some people say it's a worrying trend, especially when it comes to food. If kids don't know where things come from, they won't be able to make good decisions about what they're eating, whether it's ethical or healthy. Farmers are also worried the next generation of Aussies won't realise how important agriculture is if they don't understand how it's used to make the things we need every day. So why wouldn't kids know this stuff? Well, some people reckon supermarkets are to blame. Lots of stuff is packaged up, all ready for you. It's so easy that lots of people don't think much about where it comes from and how it's made. But it hasn't always been that way. Many years ago, it was more common for families to grow their own produce or buy stuff directly from farmers. Some would even make their own clothes. So it's no wonder they'd have a better idea about where cotton comes from.
Yay!
At this school, they're going back to basics.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Should we weigh it? Yeah. Okay.
This is one of more than 200 schools around Australia taking part in Kitchen Garden School. Students are taught how to grow, harvest and prepare their own fruit and veggies. They even have their own chickens. Each day they take turns in watering and fertilising the garden, pulling out weeds and collecting chicken eggs. And they get to make some delicious meals from the stuff they've grown themselves.
Yeah, it does make you feel better because, like, you know, it's like there's nothing in it, no like chemicals and things in it. It's just home produce.
It's like good to get outside and stuck inside and doing all like maths and all this. I'm not saying that maths is bad, but it's gotta be good.
Farmers hope more kids get involved in programs like this so people can appreciate all the work that goes into making some of the simple things in life that we take for granted.
Question number 1. Is cotton a plant or animal resource? Where does cotton come from? Well, if you saw in the video at the start, it comes from the cotton plants. So cotton is actually grown in fields, not so much in Australia, but over in America mainly it comes from. So that's question 1. Question 2, where does yogurt come from? As you recall from the video, yogurt doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from milk, which comes from cows, so it is an animal resource. All right, question number 3. What does the word ethical mean? Let's just talk about this one more time. Ethical means making decisions that help to benefit the right people. So being consciously aware of the choices we make in order to make morally good choices. So we buy Australian products because we want to help the Australian farmers we want to put our money back into the Australian economy. So we try and buy Australian where we can. We also look at packaging. So if it's biodegradable packaging, that means it can break down and we can recycle it. So we want to try and avoid things like plastic packaging and just things that you can't recycle. So you want to try and buy products that have materials that we looked at that can be recycled or reused, such as aluminium in the metal cans that we drink our Coke with. You can recycle them. Or the plastic bottles we buy our water in, you can take the tops off them and you can what's called recycle them as well. They can reuse the plastic. So you want to try and be environmentally sustainable when you choose products. That's what ethical means. And the big question and final question of the day is, what is bad about supermarket packaging? Well, if you recall back to the video, they spoke about how everything's packaged so you don't need to think about where it comes from. It's just there on the shelves. So what you need to be thinking about is, now that you know where stuff comes from, you need to be thinking more about trying to source your products direct from the farmer direct rather than go to the supermarket. And also you're saving the environment by not having all that packaging and stuff that comes with supermarket goods as well. Instead of going to the supermarket where it's all packaged up, you can go to your local butcher and you can source it from there because he has it fresh from the farm. So that's basically what I wanted to show you guys today. Resources are not only natural, meaning they're available naturally, but they're also made by humans as well. So they can be either natural or human-made. And the ones that are better for the environment are the natural ones, the ones that occur naturally, such as wool off sheep's backs, because we take it directly from the sheep, such as sand, because that's directly from the ground. Natural, human, not so good for the environment. So just wanted you to think about that and have a good week. I look forward to seeing you guys next week for Yirara Science. Thanks, bye for now.
Check, 1, 2. Hello everyone, I'm Big T. I'm from Borroloola, and this song is called Grateful. Feel free to clap along, and yeah, hope you enjoy. From the start to the finish, my friend, from the beginning to the end, repping from the hardest, no easy task. Do what you gotta do and it'll last. Keep moving forward, never looking back into the past, cause it will just be a distraction, attacking your mental action. If you find some help for yourself, then you'll feel the satisfaction. Coming back in, then you'll make things happen. Never got everybody head bobbing along to my song. This is a young man from BLA, aka Borroloola. I got something to say. Everything is going good, gotta find a way to thank God, so I pray for the food on my plate every night and day, and for the warm bed and the roof that's over my head. I said what I said, yes I have dreams, I'm not ashamed. Don't paint us with the same brush, we are not the ones to blame. We are here to make a change that's happening around us, cause the bad vibe is surrounding us, trying to brainwash all of us. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. I remember I was hungry cause my family was always struggling and budgeting for money. Always broke, always used to hope my family would stop wasting money on harmful substances like alcohol and smoke show. My mom would always tell me not to do that, to do this as a kid. Now look on me now, standing in front of the crowd saying the words out loud. Then my family must be really proud of what a man I've become. Especially dad and mom, that they had a son that grew up not a screw up, that had fun even though we didn't have none. Sometimes it be a hassle, but kids gotta be careful. Most of the nights I played wasn't that full, but I was always grateful to get food, to stop the rumbling in my stomach. At least it was something so better than nothing to stop your fussing. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Showing love to my supporters and fans, because I know how it feels to be ignored, embarrassed. After all, sharing is caring. From the darkness I'm emerging, searching for the lonely and broken, healing the ones that be hurting, trying to seek attention, trying to seek affection. That's your only intentions. It's the only interaction with the world that we living in. Some say that rapping comes naturally, while others rap casually. They don't know I'm struggling, but I'ma keep hustling. As long as I'm grinding, my heart gon' keep shining. Cry later, don't forget to keep laughing, so I can keep this comforting songs coming. You know Big T, keep it PG, ain't no need for cussing. I will never stop loving. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, I will hold it to the end. Grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for my family, grateful for my friends, grateful for the love, and I will hold it to the end. Thank you. Check, 1, 2. Hello everyone, I'm Big T, I'm from Borroloola, and this song is called Grateful. Feel free to clap along, and yeah, hope you enjoy. From the start to the finish, my friend, from the beginning to the end, repping from the hardest, no easy task. Do what you gotta do and it'll last. Keep moving forward, never looking back into the past, cause it will just be a distraction, attacking your mental action. If you find some help for yourself, then you'll feel the satisfaction. Coming back in, then you'll make things happen. Never got everybody head bobbing along to my song. This is a young man from BLA, aka Borroloola. I got something to say. Everything is going good, gotta find a way to thank God, so I pray for the food on my plate every night and day, and for the warm bed and the roof that's over my head.
Good morning.
Getting closer every
Dr. Yirara.
Right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, you mob out there. Welcome back to numeracy. And a shout out to whoever is watching. Hope you're having a fun time. High five and welcome to any new ones that's watching. And if you're not from Yirara, even a greater welcome if you're watching this. We continue with skip counting. Yes, we are still doing skip counting. Today we're going to look at, counting in tens. Counting in tens, because that is it's a good skill to have. It's a good skill to have in your head because it makes counting so much easier. So if you look at your screen right now, you will see a hundreds chart from 1 to 100. They're all in different colors. But if you're good enough, you'll pick up there is a pattern on that chart. If you look at your rows of 1, right? If you look at your rows of 1, you will see it goes 1, 11, 21, 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, 81, and 91. So what is the pattern? What is the trick in that one? Is that it's only the tens number that changes. The unit stays 1. It stays 1 all the way around. It's only the tens that's changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we go to our next row, which is the orange one, you see the same pattern. But this time you're seeing 2. So you're seeing 12, 22, 32, 42, 52, and still the pattern remains the same. It is only the tens number that changes. Our third row will be the same, right? And so the pattern will continue. So when you count money, or when you have to go do shopping, and you're saying, oh, 55, 65, 75. So that is how you go. So you count in tens to get to the whole number, and then you can count on. Now, there is a lot. Mr. David's going to come and help me here because it seems like my numbers went all over the show. Mr. Dave, you're going to have to help me there.
Okay, I can help you.
Because it's just a mess. Yep. I have got no idea. I see 2, 6, 4. I said 21, 8. They're all over the show, Mr. Dave. All over the show. What can we do there? Let's see what did we say? What was the pattern again? If it's a 2 on top, we'll go 2, we'll go, 12, we'll go. So I think the first pattern will be going down from 2 down to 50. So which numbers will be missing, Mr. Dave? What do you think?
All right, so I think below the 2 will be, there'll be 12.
Yes.
And then 22.
Yep.
And then 32.
Yeah.
And then 42. Mm-hmm. And then you have 52 on the screen.
Yep, there's 52.
62 after that. Mm-hmm. And another 10 is 72.
Yep.
82.
And
92.
Excellent, Mr. Dave. Well done. Now let me see if I can do the next one.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do the next one. Is there a next one? Yeah. Oh, there's the next one. So I've got 33 there. So I need to work in my head. I'm going to take away 10. Oh, that's going to be bad. I know it's going to start on the 3. Mm-hmm. Because there's 2. So the next number is going to be a 3.
Yep.
And then it's going to be 13. And then 23 and 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, 83, and 93.
Yes.
Yes.
You got it.
Okay. Do we have another one, Miss? Oh, yes, Mr. Dave.
Oh, okay.
Up, you're up.
So at the top, I think it's the 4 column. So at the top, you're going to have 4.
Yep.
And then you have a 14 on the slide. Yep. And then 24.
Yep.
And then after the 24, you're going to add 10 to make 34.
Yep. Yep.
And 44. And 54, you add 10 to 54. And you've got a 64 there on the board.
Yeah.
And you've got 74, 84. And the last one on the 90s row is 94.
Right. Now let's see if we were correct, Mr. Dave.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. There we go. We have it. All of it falls into place right there. So we can see the pattern once again. So now, Mr. Dave, we're going to have a bit of a game.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. We don't have the 100 chart in front of us this time.
No.
So we're only going to have empty squares with a few numbers.
Okay.
Let's see if we can fill out the missing numbers. Let's see, Miss Rebecca. Oh, we've got a 1, an 11, and a 13. Mr. Dave, what is going to be our first missing number?
Okay. Beside the 1, I'm saying that's the 2.
Okay, that's a 2. So if we go down the row now, what
Yep.
number are we going to get?
Oh, 21?
21? Oof. We're on 11, Mr. Dave. Let's
Oh,
think.
yeah, okay.
11.
Below the 11 will be 12. 21.
21.
21.
21 is
Sorry,
below.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, yeah.
fine. It's
I'm making
the
a mistake.
afternoon. It's
Yeah, yeah.
afternoon, Mr. Dave.
I've made a mistake.
So we've got a 2,
Yeah, yeah.
12, and 21.
Yep.
That's our missing numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's look at our next one, which it's the pink one. Oof, we only have a 32. So next to the 32, do you think it's a 33, Mr.
Yeah,
Dave?
must be.
Definitely
100
33.
column, it must be 33.
33, right. So our missing numbers, we're adding 10, we're adding 10?
Yep.
So we have 32.
32, 42?
42, yep. And then
33, add 10, 43.
43, well
Right,
done.
next door.
And our last one, that is our green box. We've got a 15, a 24, and a 26. So let's see what's coming down next to. Let's fill out next to the 15.
Okay.
Let's finish counting. 15, 16, and 17. That will make us easier going down.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm reckoning below the 15, you plus 10, it must be 25?
Yep.
26, and below the 17, you plus 10 is going to be 27.
27.
That one's easier because it's more horizontal.
Yes,
The other one-
definitely.
the other one was
definitely.
tricky.
Yep. So now you're wondering why is Mr. Dave and I doing this and what is the use of it? We're going to play a bit of a game. Mr. Dave,
Yep.
thank you so much for
No
your help.
worries. That's
We are going to look at the game in your workbook. Right, in your workbook. So you have got a maze and your job is to go from this top row over here down to the trophy. It says, I can find 10 more or less than a given number. So that is what we're going to look at. So you need to start on the top row, pick up a number, pick a number, and see if you can move down to the trophy, counting in tens. So if we take 37, right? 37 plus 10, it's going to give me 47. Great, that's our next number. Can we go further? 37, nope, we've got 35, 56. We cannot go anywhere. So clearly, 37 is not the number. Let's take 58. So we've got 58, yep, we can do 58, 48, great. Can we go anywhere? No, 58 is not our number. Let's try 14. 14. Okay, so we're trying 14. So 14 take away 10 is 4, correct? Can we go anywhere? Nope. Remember, we can only move in straight lines. So 14 is definitely not our number. So we are left with 3. Let's see if we can do this. 46. Let's try 46. Ooh, we can go down to 56. Yep, there's your 66. Now, if we take away 10, we go back to 56. And by the looks of it, we could actually make it to the trophy. We're going to do one more, and then I'm going to leave it up to you to find the rest of this pattern. So 56, take away 10. Remember what we said? It's only the first number that changes. So 56, take away 10, gives me 46. Right, let's see if you can find your way down to the trophy. Remember, counting in tens is a great skill, especially when you're working with money or when you're putting things in groups of 10. Have a great day tomorrow and have a great day for the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, how are you feeling today? It's not bad here in Alice Springs, it's got hot again. I hope you're getting some rain wherever you are, but if not, at least a cool breeze and some shade. So today, we're doing homophones, and the word comes from two words together from the Greek word homo, which means same and like. So these words will have the same and like sounds. And phones, which you all know you've got a phone, but that comes from voice and sounds. If we could just look at that slide now and we'll go through it again. So the word homophone comes from the Greek word homo, meaning the same or equal, and phone from the word which means voice. Now homophones is each of two or more words having the same pronunciation, that's the same sound, but different meanings or spellings. For example, new and new. I have a new bike spelled N-E-W, or I knew that I would be happy when I got it. I knew, K-N-E-W. So we're going to have a look at this next slide with some examples. So on the left, we have the word sun. Now, the word that sounds like that, but is not spelt the same, is the sun that we have in the sky. What about the word right? I have one right hand, R-I-G-H-T, but what's that little fella doing? He's got his paper out and he's going to write, W-R-I-T-E. Now, what about the word see? I can see you there, S-E-E, and what we have on the coastline is the sea, S-E-A. And the last one, I like this one, which, W-H-I-C-H, which drink will you have? And there in the picture, the little bit of a scary witch, W-I-T-C-H. So let's have a look at the next slide, and we're going to choose the correct homophone to complete each sentence. The boy put shampoo on his hair, H-A-R-E, or hair, H-A-I-R. Do you know which one that is? You answer it yourselves. The next one, Mum put some flour in the cake mix. So is it the yellow flour there, or is it the flour beside it, spelled F-L-O-U-R? You can see the different spelling, but they sound exactly the same, flour, flour. And the last one, James didn't have a very good night's sleep. Sounds exactly the same, so is it the one with the moon, N-I-G-H-T-S, or the man in the armour, K-N-I-G-H-T-S? So let's have a look at those words on the board. So our first word was sun, and the homophone is sun. Right, a right hand, and at school, right. I can see you, or let's go to the beach near the sea, sea. And the last one, which will you have? That's a question word, or the lady on the broom in the story, which? The other ones were hair, which is like a bunny, and hair on your head. Flower. There we go. Flower. And the last one, nights with the moon, and nights in a story. Can you see that, Miss? Excellent. Okay, let's have a look at the next one then on the PowerPoint. Lucy couldn't wait to meet her friend. Meet. Two spellings there, but I think you know that one. It's too easy. It's not the meet, M-E-A-T, it is the M-E-E-T. Second one, Andrew missed the bus. Missed. M-I-S-S-E-D is the correct word, but it sounds exactly the same as mist, which you get on a very cold morning. And the last one, the mouse got his tail caught. I think you'd know that from your early schooling, so it is tail, T-A-I-L. Let's have a look at the next one then. I know I'm driving this home to you, but this will be the work you're doing on your worksheet. So Glenn has a long wait for the bus. Wait. Can you recognise which word you would use? Wait, W-A-I-T. The cat hurt its paw. That's got 3 choices. So, paw, P-A-W, is the word you'd use for that one. The next one, the old man had no money, he was poor. So we're using all the same sounds here. Do you know which one that is? Poor, P-O-O-R, he was poor. And using the same sounding word, could you pour the orange juice, please? So we've only got one choice left because we've used the all other ones, and it's pour, P-O-U-R. And the very last one, Mark got a letter in the mail. Mail, M-A-I-L, or mail, M-A-L-E. I think you'd know that because you know mail boarding, and that is spelled M-A-L-E. Okay, now we're going on to the next one. So we're going to look at the differences between these words. In a sentence, do you want milk or cordial? Or, O-R, is the first one. And the second one is or, which you use when you're on a boat, O-A-R, pointing to the picture there with the arrow. What about sail? Sail is on a boat also at the top. The sail is the white piece of canvas that you use to collect the wind and make the boat move. And the other sail, you would have seen that in at Yiparinya, a big sail means you're going to save some money. I didn't like putting this next picture on, saw and saw. So the first saw is down the bottom, which maintenance or your family would use, S-A-W. And the other saw, a bit yucky, is S-O-R-E. Now my last favourite one, because I used to have a horse, is main and main. So when you're in a big city, you'll have the main street, which is the biggest street, and the horse there, blowing in the wind, is his mane, M-A-N-E. All right, you're all doing really well. David, have a quick little look at this one.
Hello.
We've got 2 minutes left, Dave, so we better chuff on. Miss Andrew's been talking way too much.
You've done a good job.
Oh, thanks a lot, you too. So, the first one, where? You can do your work now. Can you choose it?
All right, where?
Yep.
And I wear a hat.
Good.
Bee and the buzzy bee.
Yep.
Add an extra E and they're the same word.
Thank you.
For and for the number to describing the number 4. Here, I went here and here. That's what what you hear from your ear. New
that rhyme too.
New.
Yep.
And a new thing.
Yep.
A new thing that you buy or something new. And we have know, and I know something. And so, and when someone fixes a jacket, they sew, S-E-W.
Good. So is everyone getting the picture how they sound exactly the same, but they move different, they mean different things. Let's have a quick look at this. There are 7 days in the week, and after his long sleep, he was in a daze.
Yeah, they're the same.
Sound exactly the same.
Weekends are great, or please grate the cheese.
Exactly the same
Yeah,
sound.
they sound the same.
Yes?
Next week it will rain, or after sport, I felt a bit weak.
I've heard some of our students feeling a bit weak sometimes. And our last one for this, me, take the dirt road, rode, and I rode my horse to school. Well, I didn't really, but I wish I did.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at your worksheet and then we're going. Okay, same sound, we've explained that, and you are going to choose one of the words at the end there in blue and write it into the correct space. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. I think it's quite fun, and there's millions of homophones, and when you hear or see one again, when two or more words that sound the same but have different meanings or spellings, like sun and sun. So thanks for listening, thanks for your help, Dave, thanks crew, over and out.
I wake up, it's a new day and I wanna go to school. Get an education, I ain't nobody's fool. I grab a lunchbox and I head out the door. So much I wanna learn and so much to explore. I walk into my school and there's nobody here. Where are all my friends? I begin to fear. I look at my phone and I check my emails, searching for a message that can give me details. I find the one, can't believe I missed it. Now it makes sense, now the puzzle pieces fit. I thought I heard a rumor, didn't think it was true. Witness the return of Yirara to you.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Yirara to You Music. Now today we're going to be learning another song on the guitar. This is by a band that were very popular when I was a kid, back in the 90s, called Oasis, and the song is called Live Forever. Now you may not be familiar with them or the song, or you may be familiar with it and you may not like it. Either way, that's fine. This is a really great song to help you gain skills in changing between chords. It's a really good song for beginners. So that's Oasis, Live Forever. Those words will be up on your screen now, so you can check the song out on YouTube. Right, here we go. So this is a great song for beginners, as it features a lot of the chords that we've gone through previously. Even if you haven't heard of the song, or if you have heard it and you don't like it, it's still really good to help you develop your skills and changing between chords. So there are 5 chords involved in this song. But first things first, make sure you tune your guitar. Every time you play, you should make sure your guitar is in tune. So E, A, D, G, B, and E again, and then switch off your tuner. Right, so the first chord is a G. You should have a picture coming up on the screen there to show you, but I'll explain how to play the G again. So you got your index finger on the 2nd fret on the A string, middle finger on the E string on the 3rd fret, ring finger down here on the B string on the 3rd fret, and then right underneath it your little finger on the E string on the 3rd fret. So like that. Right. The second chord is a D, which involves your index finger on the 2nd fret on the G, your middle finger down at the bottom on the 2nd fret on the E, and your ring finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. So it goes from a G to a D. The next chord is an A minor. So that involves your index finger on the 1st fret on the B string, your middle finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, and then your ring finger right underneath it on the G on the 2nd fret. That's what that one should sound like. So G, D. So we've got those 3 so far. The next chord is a C. That's how that one should sound. So that's involving your ring finger on the 3rd fret on the A, your middle finger on the 2nd fret on the D, and your index finger on the B string on the 1st fret. So all together we've got G, D, A minor, C. And then after that it goes back to the D. So that entire sequence, the strum pattern, it goes like this. There's only one other difference in the song when it goes into, I guess it's the chorus. It doesn't sound too much like a chorus, but I suppose it is the chorus. So it plays what I've just showed you probably 4 or 8 times with the singing over the top, and then it goes down to an E minor, which is, so that just involves 2 fingers, your middle finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, and your ring finger right underneath it on the D string on the 2nd fret. And then the rest of the chords are pretty much the same as the first part of the song. So it goes down to the D, A minor, C, D, E minor, down to the D, A minor, C, and back to the start, G, D, A minor, C, D, G, D, A minor, C, D, and the change, E minor, D, A minor, C, D, E minor, D, A minor, C, D again. And then those 2 sections, they just repeat over and over, and there's a bit of a guitar solo later on, but we'll just get the rhythm and the chords done today, and that's Live Forever by Oasis.
Welcome everybody, this is me and my brothers who just kicking back in the studio, and this is dedicated to my Yanyel and Garwa people. RTL and BLA, let's go!
Keep on rocking, keep on rocking. Friends and family come together, one big mobbing carpinteria. Keep on rocking, keep on rocking. Friends and family come together, one big mobbing carpinteria.
Borlula is my land, BLA is where I stand. I'm a hunter, I'm a man, I am proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I am.
Robinson, we keep it real. My hometown, we do not steal. January, Garawa, speak the truth. Barefoot warrior, don't need no boots.
I'm not gaming, that's the truth. Come to my town to have a look. Big barramundies on the hook. Take it home for me to cook. I'm DK, I got something to say. From Robinson to BLA. Crazy fisherman from Savannah way. Listen up, y'all, I got something to say.
Keep on rocking, keep on rocking. Friends and family come together, one big mobbing carpinteria. Keep on rocking, keep on rocking. Friends and family come together, one big.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Yirara.
Hi senior students at Yirara. It's a Thursday afternoon and we're here together to look at some integrated learning. But before we do that, a couple of important things is tonight, Richmond play Carlton in the 2nd game of the opening round of the season. So I hope you're just soaking up the Tiger stuff here at the moment and realise that this is a winning side and this is going to be a good night tonight. But also, Chinese have a 12-year cycle of different animals. It's the year of certain things. And this year is actually the year of the tiger. So even the Chinese know that this is going to be a great year for the tigers. So.
Hey, Paul, I didn't know you started the jokes this early.
No, I'm getting serious before I do the jokes. Thank you, Paul. Can someone get that heckler out of here, please? Okay, a couple of jokes now. Yes, I'll leave the football go, but enjoy the games on TV. What is a flea's favourite way to travel? Anyone know? Anyone, what is a flea's favourite way to travel?
I don't know.
No idea.
Hitchhiking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Two goldfish are in a tank. One looks at the other and says, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
Tell us when to laugh.
Okay, about now will be good. Okay, why are fish so smart? Because they live in schools. And if you were back in school, you'd be smarter too. No, okay. What do you call a bear with no ears? A B. Because bear is spelled B-E-A-R. If it's got no ears, there'd be no E-A-R. So it's just a B. Well done, well done. Okay, I think I've got one more, which is probably one too many, but that's okay. Where do cows go on Friday nights?
I don't know. Where do cows go Friday nights?
They go to the movies. Yes, here we are. They could actually see that coming in the distance. That joke was on its way and they picked it out in the crowd. Anyway, so I hope, you know, a bit of humour. Now we're going to get back onto a bit of work, and we're actually looking at a serious topic. We've been looking at alcohol, looking at some of the history, the effects on people, short term, long term. We've looked at some of the cultural environment and the culture within Australia as to how alcohol is portrayed and accepted and things. But this lesson today and I think tomorrow as well are both fairly serious, because it talks about where really you go from controlling your alcohol intake to where the alcohol takes control of you, and where everyone's body can say, "I need to have something." What's the word that I'm looking for? That where someone has got to do something. Now sometimes we talk about this word. If they've got to drive their cars fast, we might say that they are to speed. If they've got to drink Coca-Cola, we might refer to them as being, do you know the word? Addicted to this. And alcohol is an addictive drug. Just like we looked at cigarettes being addictive and the nicotine within cigarettes being something that's hard to break within our bodies, of getting it out of our system and getting free of our desire to have it, alcohol is much the same. And look, while I wish no one gets addicted, we've all got tendencies towards using certain things. I believe that I could give up drinking coffee today or tomorrow, any day, but at the moment I could say there is a slight addiction there. Not that it's doing my body any harm, but I enjoy having 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 coffees a day. And but look, people get addicted to cigarettes, to coffee, to Coca-Cola, or to soft drinks, which is really the sugar within it. People get sugar addictions, and that leads to diabetes and high sugar content sugar levels within our bloodstream and things, which is also bad for us. There's addictions to alcohol. There's addictions to, I know I've experienced a lot of schools where students get addicted to this thing, to their phone. And that's, they've got to have it. And there's a whole range of things that people get addicted to. And so it's not that, well, hopefully we never get addicted, but along the way we need to recognise some things and be prepared to stop and work on stopping before it gets to the point of being addictive, and us having an addiction. So the first question, I've given you the answer to that already on the worksheet. And if you have a look at the worksheet in front of you, the top of the page, it says, what do you know about this condition? This condition is called addiction. Okay, and if you could write a couple of lines there about what you know about that. You might also give an example or two of things that people get addicted to. Actually, and look, I'm just thinking, it's all around. I see, like, having lived in a number of communities before, I see people addicted to cards. I mean, some people get addicted to sports and to bodybuilding and to, just feeling good that way. There's such a variety of things that people get addicted to, but when it's addiction to alcohol or to drugs, it's damaging our bodies, it's shortening our lives, it's making the lives of people around us miserable as well, and it's not good. So we need to try and work out how to stop it. Okay, let's read the couple things here. It is often seen as funny and is often the focus of jokes or Aussie humour about being an alcoholic. Aussie humour calling someone a lightweight drinker is an indirect way of saying that person can't drink and may cause offence to others. So, yeah, we sort of joke about people not drinking, and then when people do drink, they're the brunt of jokes, and then when they get addicted to something, they're the brunt of jokes. And so this whole Aussie humour of joking and poking fun at people isn't often a helpful thing. That we need to try and work out ways where people recognise what what some of the issues are and what some of the alternatives are, so that rather than, if I'm not feeling good, if I'm feeling a bit down, rather than reaching for a drink of alcohol, I reach for something else. It might be that I spend time, praying. It might be that I listen to some music. It might be that I go for a walk. There's a whole range of things that you can do rather than using something that is going to sort of muck up the way you're thinking and the way you're behaving. Does that make it okay to joke about drinking? Explain. And I hope so you've got a couple of lines here where you can put in, is it okay to be joking about other people's problems to do with drinking? And you might notice that even though I've told several jokes every day here for 3 or 4 weeks now, there's been no jokes about alcohol, no jokes about smoking, because I think there's a lot of humour in life without having to go down that road and to give the wrong impression. Okay, let's have a look at the next bit. It is important to be aware that suddenly stopping the use of alcohol and other drugs can be dangerous and cause harm. You can discuss your options with a health professional, such as a doctor, a nurse. There might be another professional even. Well, we're going to talk about that. It might be someone in the clinic, or a drug and alcohol service. With substance use, consult with a doctor, another health professional, or a drug and alcohol service. It's a good idea to talk to a professional, because you don't want to be doing something that's going to cause even more damage to your body or cause a conflict within you as you try and do it. It might be that they'll provide you with a way of easing off something, or whether it is best to just stop straight up, but get some medical advice on that. When we need help with our overuse of alcohol, where else can we go? Who else can help? And maybe even initially, if you are seeing that you want to, you need to, you have a drink or something, it might be that you, first up, you talk to a family member that you know will be supportive and can help you through it. You know, it might be that there's others within your community that you trust, that you know will be supportive, that won't just treat you as being weak or silly, but will actually be there being positive and saying, hey, you can get through this. And we'll check up with you every day even to say, hey, how's it going today? Are you still making good choices? There's a word search down the bottom of this page, and I'll just move it up a little bit. But this word search gives us some names of some other people who can help with addiction. They're listed down the side there, and if you go and find those words, just a little bit of an activity, and it'll help you with spelling these things correctly in the future. But, you know, alcoholism and addiction are both serious things. So we want to take this seriously, to realise some of the answers, and there is ways out of it. You've never gone too far that you can't be helped. There is help, there is hope, and if you're addicted to alcohol, the term that they use then is that you're an alcoholic. And so we don't want people getting to that point, and we want to help people get off from that. And so that's where our lesson's at today. Thanks for listening. Fill in that page, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
afternoon to the senior students of Yirara, years 11 and 12. I changed it up. I didn't say yo-yo, doesn't feel right, but I'm still here and I'm going to do it. Okay, so today we're going to do some maths. We're actually going to do a little activity off the grid, so not in our books, but it's similar to some of the activities in your books. And it's all about estimating, so making a guess from what you know. Okay, so you're making an estimation, and I've actually got 3 helpers, and I'll call them up in a minute, and they're going to come in. We've got 6 things, and we're going to make an estimation for how big we think they are, how long, and then we're going to get the accurate measurement for them. But before we do, the other day I did a bit of a spiel on millimetres, centimetres, metres and kilometres, and I actually had some arrows, they were facing the wrong way. So I've gone and done a bit of craft, and I've faced them the right way this time. So we'll just quickly go through that. Millimetres, they're very, very small, okay? And they're about 10 bits of paper on top of each other, very small for 1 millimetre. Very small. Okay, then there are 10 millimetres in a centimetre. So a centimetre is a bit bigger. Again, I used my index finger. For me, it's about the width of my index finger for 1 centimetre. Next one is metres, and we've actually got, sorry, I'm sneaking across again, a metre ruler. That's really hard to get off the board. There we go, a metre, all right? And there are 100 centimetres in a metre. And then the last one is kilometres, and so they're quite long. There are 1,000 of these in a kilometre, all right? Millimetres very small, kilometres very big. So I'm hoping that having this here might help the people I'm bringing up, it might help them to make the decision on what they're going to estimate. Today we're looking at how big a cube is, and I will hold it up for them to see, how long a bobby pin is, a water bottle, a stool, so one that you sit on, the wall, and then Alice Springs to Papunya. They're going to have a bit of an estimate, and I'll look it up on my phone. Are we ready, helpers? I've got 3 of them today. Here they come. They're not very excited. Oh no, they are excited. One of them's excited. Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we got this Paul.
Yeah, this Paul. This Paul. Oh, Paul, would you like to come?
No, everyone's fighting over it. Okay, so just to make sure, what you're going to do is behind Paul, you have some little bits of paper and some pens, and you're going to write an estimation for each object. And I will hold it up first so you can have a look, and then I will measure it. So, first object is this little cube here. How big do you think this cube is, and what are you going to measure it in? Do I need to bring it closer? Can everyone see? It's very, very little.
You might have to move it closer to the camera. Bring it up to this camera here. So.
I don't know if I want to get close.
This one, there you go. Look, that camera, that one. There we go.
Good work
So
with
how
the
big
zoom,
is it?
Tina.
So you want us to say how big it is? Okay.
Like, just across it, like it's a cube, so they're all going to be the same, but how big do you think one of the edges is? Have you already done yours?
Yeah. Done
Gosh.
mine. We just quick. What can we say?
Sorry, I've got some mathematicians up here. All right. Okay, what do we got? So now you can just hold them up. Let's have a look at your estimations. They're having a bit of a guess. Oh, they're very small.
Yeah.
You want us to write bigger, so you want one piece. Okay.
That was the whole point.
Now we know. I should have done a nice big one like that. 1 centimetre.
1 centimetre.
That's 1 centimetre.
All right, 1
I reckon
centimetre.
there.
11 millimetres. I like that you use millimetres.
Very specific
1
there,
centimetre.
Dave.
And what did you have?
I had 1 centimetre.
Make sure you write the units that you're
I
measuring
did,
in.
exactly. She's got me there. I forgot to put centimetres. Texters would be excellent. Thank you, guys.
Texters. All right, we're swapping it around. So now you've got some green textures. So they had a bit of an estimate. I'm going to now measure to see how big this is. Maybe I'll bring it over. Shall I bring it up here so you can see me measuring it?
Okay.
Is that all right? Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to do this, I reckon. Hang on. I reckon is that 1 centimetre exactly, or 10 millimetres?
Well, aren't they the same?
That was the next thing, but I thought I'd say both because Dave has measured in millimetres and you both have measured in centimetres.
Very
okay,
true. Very
so
true.
from looking at it, the accurate measurement is 10 millimetres or 1 centimetre, okay? So we got pretty close. I'm just going to write the accurate one because we've already, so the accurate measurement, I'm just doing a little arrow, that was 1 centimetre or 10 millimetres. So you're all pretty close, weren't you? No one went crazy.
No.
Hold on point.
No,
Okay.
fine. There we go.
Next one. Now, this is called a bobby pin. This is what we use in our hair, all right, to keep hair back. That's how big it is. I do.
Yes.
You might not need one, Paul, but that's it there. How long do you think a bobby pin is?
May I have a closer look?
No. No, of course you can.
Here we go, guys. That's what it looks like. So, how big?
I'm not sure.
Miriam's
I've got a
hiding. No one's copying.
I'm
Dave's
going to say this. There we go. There we go.
I feel nervous.
There we go. What do you think? What have you guessed? What have you guessed?
Can I reveal?
I think reveal.
Yeah,
Reveal?
4 centimetres.
4 centimetres, 3 centimetres. What was yours, Paul?
And mine will be the winner, which is out of focus. How good am
Got
I?
a competitive streak
How good
here.
am I? There we go.
Well, have you actually measured it?
No, I just guessed. You know what I did? I used that
He
cube.
wears plenty of
Oh.
bobby pins. Can you tell?
Oh, my secret's out. How can you tell?
What do we got? Ooh.
Who's
It's
closest?
It's 4.4 if I was to be.
Oh.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah, maybe 4 is closer. Yeah.
I reckon it's
Closer than
4.4.
4.4 is closer than 5.
So it's either 44 millimetres or 4.4 centimetres.
Oh,
Did
you got that one,
anybody-
Dave.
Yeah,
well
yeah.
done, Dave.
One for me.
Well done,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. I was 0.6 of a mil out.
So exciting, isn't it? Right, that was number one.
We're
This
building
one,
up a
two.
lot of tension here, aren't we? Excitement.
4.4 centimetres or 44 millimetres. All right, next one. We're getting halfway through now. We're looking at the water bottle. So I'll show you the water bottle. You're doing a great job, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, miss. Thank you.
This is it here, the water bottle. All right, so it's 1.5 litres if we were looking at the volume, but I want to know from top to bottom, what are we going to measure it in? Is it millimetres, centimetres, metres, and how much do you think it is?
I'm going to guess a big guess here because I have no idea.
That
So
was
I'm
just to
guessing.
try and help.
I'm guessing.
Me too, I'm guessing.
Play along at home if you want.
So, do you want to know my little secret?
Yes, please.
I pictured a ruler. I imagine a ruler next to it and use that as a guide. We all know rulers are 12 centimetres.
12?
Ah, I've got it wrong. 30
A
centimetres.
ruler is 30, yeah.
30 centimetres, not 12 inches. This is showing my age. 12 inches or 30 centimetres. There you go. I'm showing my age
Thank you,
here.
Paul.
Still thinking in feet, aren't I?
All right, have you got yours? What's your estimation?
I estimated exactly the ruler length of 30.
45, you went a bit bigger. And what did you do, Paul?
I've got to change mine because I worked off 12.
Yeah.
Didn't I? Hold it.
Yeah.
Let me see. 30. I'm going to say 30.
No, he looked at us.
No. 38. Oh, I better put what it is. Centimetres. You've got to say what unit of measurement. 30. Sprung.
Oh, it's very hard because it's curved. All right, but I can tell you that Dave is definitely the closest. If I put this down...
Well done, Dave. You've done it again.
Yes, I'm lucky.
Should I use the tape measure maybe?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Hopefully it's 45. It is 32 centimetres.
32 centimetres.
What did you have?
I had 38. I was
Dave,
miles
pretty
out.
good. 32 centimetres.
Very good
Yay.
estimation.
So he was a winner. There
But
you
it
go.
was a
Have
good
good day.
It was a close guess.
Can you estimate my lotto numbers?
Yeah. I can't
This
guess
Saturday,
lotto
please.
numbers,
I'm looking
but
forward to another big holiday.
Yeah.
A big holiday.
Beautiful. 3 more to go. Stool. Here we go. Stool.
Oh, this is going to be tricky.
It's heavier than I thought.
So, how high it is?
Yeah.
Or how? Okay.
And we're not doing inches, Paul. We're doing centimetres
Oh,
or
for
millimetres.
my fun,
or-
I've got to become metric.
Yeah, we're doing the metric
Doing the
system.
metrics test. All right, so I'm going to picture my...
Oh, Mary's done.
There we go.
She's measured stools before.
She must have. She knows what to do.
You sit on.
My estimates have been way off.
Well, not too bad.
Just
not too
been
bad.
guessing.
Yeah, well, they're good guesses.
Actually, I think it's even more. I'll make that an extra 5. There we go.
All right, we're going to have a look at your estimations now. What do we got? 60 centimetres, okay?
I put
Two
on
rulers.
20 more centimetres. I've said 80 centimetres.
80 centimetres, love
And
it.
I changed one for 60 to 65 centimetres.
Oh, gosh.
I wanted to go a little bit bigger. I thought it was taller than 2 rulers.
All right. Oh, I'm
Which are 30
nervous.
centimetres each.
All right, here we go.
Just
I'm going with the
confirm.
tape measure because it's a bit
I'm
easier
hoping it's almost 3
when they're
rulers, but-
curved. All right, I'm going from the bottom here. I don't even know if you can see me. Oh, hang on. I'm going to go from here.
That's good.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
is that, what is that, 60?
I'd say it's 61 because it's a curve.
61.
Whoa!
61 centimetres.
There you go.
We've got
Way
some
to go.
great estimations here. So 61 centimetres. You were the closest, Mary. Well done.
There you go. You're on a winning streak now.
All
Look
right.
out.
Next one is the wall. I might have been a bit. We'll be rough. Okay. So what we're going to do to actually measure it, I'm going to hold the metre ruler up. We're going to put a mark, and then we're going to. I've just given away what we're going to measure it in as well.
Okay.
Well, I could choose to do it in millimetres.
You could choose, and then you'd be off the set. Off again. No, whatever works for you. We'll have to just convert it. So from the ground to the. Stop cheating, everyone.
All right. Now, the other day we did a lesson where we actually measured how high people are, and I happen to know how high I am.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm going to do this. So I'm about there. So I know Mr. M's certain height. So I'm going to use that as a guide to figure out how tall it is, which is going to be...
Don't look at other people's, please, Paul. I think Paul was cheating off yours, David.
No. I'm happy to say I wasn't.
Oh, sorry, I just went like that. Sorry, everyone.
I'm not doing it in millimetres today.
All right, beautiful. So, oh, okay. This will be great for camera work.
Here we go. Would you like a little bit of height? There we go.
Yeah,
There's
there we
one.
go. Yeah.
1 metre.
1 metre. Is that, yeah.
I'll take my hand out of the way.
Okay.
Let's get that accurate. There we go.
2 metres, yep.
2 metres. Oh, I'm miles out. I am miles out.
Is it 3 metres exactly?
It looks to be really, really close to...
angled, you got to put a straight.
Oh, hang on.
It's pretty well almost exactly 3 metres, I'd say.
3 metres. What? I didn't even ask for your estimations.
My building is out because I said 4.2 metres, but
Yeah, you've got an old-fashioned one, really
Yeah.
high peak roofs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's yours? 3.8, not bad.
And mine was exactly...
Get
I
off.
was cheating. I was miles out.
4.5.
Miles
How
out.
tall did you actually think you
Well, I
were?
obviously was... It's 12 inches or a metre.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So,
Well, I think I'm taller than I really am.
so if it's 3 metres, how many centimetres is that? How many centimetres is that?
300?
Well done. Yes, it is. 300 centimetres. All right, this is the last one. Oh, is there enough paper?
Right, here we go.
And I'm going to use my phone for this one because we can't actually go to Papunya. So we're estimating how far Alice Springs to Papunya. Now, I'm actually going to put it on Google Maps so you can have a little look.
I'm going to guess
search.
first.
Oh dear, I can't remember now. I've done the trip a few times.
Can I bring this to the camera so that they can see? All right, can you see that on my phone? There's a few cracks, but Alice Springs to Papunya.
Papunya.
How far?
I'm going to guess too.
Did anyone else want to have a little look?
I am not
Well,
sure.
that-
Oh, you got it?
I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing. Okay, you're going to tell us.
No, I'm not. No. I'm going to tell you. Hang on. I'm just getting the directions
guessing.
now. All right, let's have a look at the estimations. Alice Springs to Papunya. 377 kilometres. 1,634 kilometres, sorry. 450 kilometres. Okay. Ooh.
So who's closest? Who's closest, Miss Rose?
Show me yours again.
So I've been to Kintor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Davey is the closest.
Yeah.
Hang on, where's
You
my
got your pen?
texter?
It's up there.
All right.
What?
Few kilometres short.
247 kilometres. You could practically run it.
Miles away.
That's fun. We can look up.
It's close enough.
I know, they're so confusing.
It's in the general area.
Yeah. I'd like to say that you're all fairly good estimators, except for a couple, but that's okay. That's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you as well.
No worries. And I reckon the more that you estimate and you get used to how big centimetres are and how big metres are, etc., the better you get at knowing distances. So estimating is a really good way of learning how far or how long things are. So you did really well. Thanks for helping me.
That's all right.
Did we get a prize?
Yeah, like high fives all round.
Oh, there you go. What more can we ask for? Thank you. Right, see you later,
thank you
everyone.
so much, and thanks for listening in. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Bye.
Good morning.